Cruising in with some serious style, the Magnum Ranger 2 is a pretty cool moto-inspired cruiser bike. Welcome back everyone, it's Scott with BikeRide.com, and we're here to put this bike through its paces and bring you the results. We're gonna get started right now, and while we roll the intro, if you like this content, please take a second and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and help to grow this channel. I appreciate everyone who watches and comments, so please keep it up. Now, let's go ride some bikes. So let's get started with what is the Magnum Ranger 2.0. If big, bold cruising style is what you're after, look no further than the Ranger 2 from Magnum Bikes. This cruiser style e-bike features a large 750 watt nominal motor and an impressive 20 amp hour battery. With a laid back ride style and cruiser style handlebars, it's easy to forget you're riding a bike instead of a motorcycle. One thing is for certain though, this bike is sure to bring lots of high-speed fun. So let's take the Magnum Ranger 2 through our typical tests and see how it stacks up to the competition. Starting here with the pros. And for our first pro, we have the large capacity battery. At 20 amp hours, the battery can power the unit for over 30 miles at maximum assist level. Including this large battery as a standard item is great to see when we have a fairly cumbersome bike here. The large capacity ensures that you can go the distance and not be fretting about whether or not you're going to make it home. The battery is also super easy to install and remove with its semi-integrated style. Magnum has done a good job of pairing the battery and motor with a well-programmed controller as well. The controller tapers the power at lower voltages, limiting your top speed at lower battery levels and ensuring that you're not going to be suddenly stranded. The battery kept pushing us loyally, giving lots of visual cues that I needed to recharge before it died. The 5-bar battery level will actually go past 1 bar to 0 and then keep going, letting you limp home when you really push the limits. For our second pro, we've got that awesome cruising style. The Ranger resembles a motorcycle with a laid-back riding position and higher than normal handlebars. The powerful motor helps to seal the deal, and combined with those oversized tires, it feels more like a motorbike than an e-bike when you're riding it. Riders that are looking for this fun, laid-back style and want to zip around the pavement at high speed will love the way that this bike has been built. And for our third pro, we have the powerful motor. A 750 watt nominal motor powers the unit and brings more than enough power to accelerate up any incline. The bike is fast and zippy, whether you're using the throttle or the pedal assist. And the pedal assist option allows you to be powered up to 25 or 28 miles an hour, depending what you set that limit to. So this bike brings the power to match any high-speed style. And now we have to take a look at the cons. Our first con is that the unit is large and bulky. You can see here it's quite a large e-bike beside me. Features like the oversized tires and the large sweeping frame and high handlebars mean that maneuvering this unit through tight spaces can be a real pain. The bike is on the heavy side, and the combination of a large unit with a heavy overall weight means that maneuvering the bike upstairs or inside like an elevator will be a serious problem. Purchasers will want to ensure that they can store the bike easily, and those needing to take it into an elevator up many stairs will definitely want to look at other options. For our second con, we have some ghost pedaling on this unit. So at high speeds, the Ranger's drivetrain began to show its size, with a 14 to 28 tooth 7-speed group set. Now, this gearing is limited for a bike that's capable of 28 miles per hour at max speed, so the bike would definitely benefit from the enhanced range of something like an 8-speed 11 to 32 tooth because of the limited range. I found myself along for the ride at high speeds, with the bike gearing not allowing me to offer any assistance when we're going that fast. And for our third con for the unit, we had a little bit of an issue with the front fender making contact with your foot. So when you have this bike, it seems that your feet are positioned a little bit closer towards the front of the bike than most bikes, simply due to the riding style and geometry. Now, when that front fender is turning, it can come in contact with your foot, and it was surprising actually how close the fender travels to the pedal itself. So there is a little bit of wiggle room here with the fender. You could adjust that a little bit, but you still are going to need to have the fender pretty much in this position so that it doesn't make contact with the tire at any other point. So this is something to be aware of, because I can definitely tell you that I hit my feet a few times and it can be quite a shock when you're trying to initiate a turn. So what does it do best? The bike features a signature laid-back riding style with high-set cruiser handlebars and large tires. The combined effect feels more like a motorcycle than an e-bike, and the powerful 750-watt motor is very fun, which gives this bike a lot of attitude. Riders who are looking for a motorcycle-inspired ride and want that cool-looking bike with lots of power will be very happy. The bike also features a rear rack for double duty as a grocery getter or errand running machine around town. And what are some reasons to look elsewhere? The Ranger is a large unit, as we mentioned before, even by e-bike standards, with its sweeping frame and high handlebars. In urban environments, the size can be a serious challenge, limiting your ability to move between cars and obstacles. The bike is also cumbersome to move up and down stairs, and I would not consider bringing it inside a building. So purchasers should think about storage and lockup when they're out looking at the bike. And the heavy bike weight and oversized tires will also make it more difficult to fit into standard bike racks on a vehicle. So an e-bike specific rack capable of fitting large tires will be needed. Now let's take a look at the frame and geometry. Cruiser bikes can be interesting to find the proper frame size and offer a unique riding experience. Looking at the Ranger, we can see a very short reach measurement of only 10.75 inch. Despite this, the bike is not cramped because of the laid-back seat post, which extends the seating position towards the bike's rear and gives this reclined seating position and feel. The bike places your feet closer to the bars and higher, and also brings up the handlebar height, giving it that distinct motorcycle-inspired style. The bike is comfortable for riders from 5'5" all the way into the 6-foot range. Some essential items to be considered with this bike are the overall length of 78 inches and the total width of 28 inches, along with the combined total weight, so it's not small or light. So you'll definitely want to consider options for storage and transport. And the Ranger definitely benefits from its powerful motor to smooth out any issues with that pedal position. The laid-back style is also made even better by the inclusion of a 70mm suspension fork and seat, which features polymer springs for added comfort and a little bit of suspension. Looking at those specs, we have a frame size of 20 inches, a reach of 10.75 inches, a standover height of 34.5 inches, a virtual top tube length of 22.5 inches, a minimum saddle height of 25.25 inches, and a max saddle height of 31.25 inches. We have a total wheelbase on this unit of 49.25 inches, and the recommended minimum rider height for this is 5'5". Riders up to about 6'4" will be able to fit on this unit, although pedal position may not be optimal. Now moving on to the motor. We have a powerful 750-watt nominal rear hub motor from Bafeng, which powers the Ranger and offers a peak motor output of 1,000 watts with 80 Newton meters of torque. This is enough to power you up to the top speed and conquer any hill in its path. It's great to see a powerful motor on this style of bike because the geometry can make it more challenging to pedal unpowered. In our acceleration test, it took us up to 20 miles per hour in 12 seconds with only the throttle, and from 0 to 28 in 22 seconds with pedal assist. The bike also performed well in our short and medium hill climb, and it even made it up our steepest hill climb with the large hill. So this is definitely a powerful motor, and it's quite capable when we're dealing with elevation. Next, looking at cockpit and control. The 100mm riser/cruiser bars are well laid out with the typical items. The critical difference is the grip twist shifter on the right side, but we'll focus on this in the drivetrain section. The bike is controlled with a 4-button control pad on the left side, and a thumb trigger style throttle allows you to control the motor when you're not using pedal assist. The unit is controlled by a large 3.5-inch display which showcases the current speed, power output, pedal assist info, and other info like the trip time, top speed, or odometer. The bike also has a USB slot on the battery for charging devices like your phone as you ride, which is a nice touch to tap into that large battery capacity. Overall, I found that the display was easy to use and easy to see and gave you all the information that you really needed, although we only had a 5-bar battery display. Now taking a look at that battery. The battery is a 48-volt, 20 amp hour or 960 watt hour, and it's well sized for the motor and allows the bike to cover a significant amount of ground on a single charge. The battery powered the unit for over 33 miles at maximum assist, which is excellent for a high-speed bike like this. The controller is also well programmed to taper the battery's output as it reaches lower voltages. Combined with an accurate battery monitor, I found that the bike let you know you were running out of power while still maintaining assistance right to the end. The bike did a good job of getting you as far as possible while still offering the highest amount of assistance that it could. Looking at the charger, battery removal, and keys. The battery on the Ranger 2 is a very interesting one because it's a semi-integrated style, which makes for very easy removal and insertion. The battery sits out to the left side of the frame, and after unlocking, it simply unhooks from its 2 mounting points. Without having to pull up and out of the frame, you can easily clear the top tube, making this one of the most straightforward batteries to remove and install that we've seen. The locking mechanism holds the batteries in place well and does not need to have the keys for battery installation. Charging can also be completed with the battery installed or with it removed from the bike, and the charger is plugged into the same slot on the exposed battery for both options. Charging takes up to 10 hours with a large battery size and a 3 amp charger. This bike has a Shimano RevoShift 7-speed throttle style shifter, which features a little window for a visual cue as to which gear you're in. It's helpful because the grip style shifter can be a little bit confusing. I personally prefer a trigger style shifter on the bars for form and function, but this one gets the job done. The 48-tooth front crankset and the 14 to 28-tooth rear freewheel are functional, but do not offer the range I'd like to see for a bike like the Ranger with a high top speed of 28 miles per hour. The bike has some ghost pedaling at high speeds, and with its heavy overall weight, it could be easier to get going with some advanced gearing. Now taking a look at the brakes. And the brakes on this bike are from an unknown source, but they are a dual piston hydraulic brake with 180mm rotors front and back. The aluminum levers are comfortable to use and offer good pressure on the calipers. The 180mm rotors and dual piston calipers are the standard setup and normally offer functional braking performance. So at 20 miles per hour, we stopped in 21.5 feet, and from 21 miles per hour, we stopped at 27 feet. And 25 miles per hour is the top speed setting for the bike as it comes from the factory. Now taking a look at those wheels, tires, and fenders. The Ranger has a set of 26 by 4-inch wheels, and the Compass tires feature a smooth tread profile. The wheels best suit paved roads and hard-packed surfaces like gravel and dirt trails, and the bike is definitely best used on gentle trails and roads. And it could do well on some hard-packed sand beaches with that large 4-inch diameter. The enhanced size also offers better traction and cushion at specific PSI levels. The bike features durable aluminum fenders on the front and rear of the bike, and combined they make an excellent shield for road debris, and they seem quite durable for the long haul. Now looking at safety. The Ranger has brake inhibitors on the front and rear brake levers to assist you in stopping, and they make for easy motor control in tight, crowded spaces. The bike also features a bright integrated front and rear light, controlled by the display and powered by the battery. Adding to driver awareness are the reflectors in the wheels and the integrated reflectors on the bike in the Wellgo platform pedals. The Magnum has our typical single-sided kickstand, which is functional and offers no additional issues when we were testing this bike. Taking a look at the contact points and starting off with the grips. We have the typical ergonomic leather grips that we see very often on these style of bikes. So while they offer, a fine grip, they can move around on the bars, and I don't personally like them very much. I'd prefer to have a lock-on rubber grip also, so that we're not having to deal with any water damage in the future. The Ranger seat follows in the footsteps of the rest of the bike, with some distinct motorcycle style. It's a large seat with cushioning and some polymer springs, so the seat is a great platform, and I found it quite comfortable. Next, taking a look at the pedals, we have the standard Wellgo platform pedal, which are very typical and they function perfectly fine. The small pegs offer good traction, and I find that the pedals are large enough to fit most people's feet. So for a budget item, it's great to get you out riding, and the pedals will do just fine. And finally, taking a look at the accessories. The Ranger has a rear rack which comes with an integrated bungee cord. It also has front and rear lights, fenders, and that large battery which comes standard. These items often cost additional on other bikes, but are featured from the Ranger from the get-go. So Magnum also features an assortment of different accessories for the bike that you can add after as well, including a large front rack, an extra battery, or some replacement knobby tires to swap out those smooth tires. So there's lots of options. Well, it's fast and fun with some fantastic style. And we can easily see some great reasons to love the Magnum Ranger. Its large battery and powerful motor definitely take center stage, backing up those great motorcycle-inspired looks. And the only drawback to this bike are its larger size and weight, with that cruiser-inspired style and some impact in the front foot. It's not a bike for commuting full-time, and its intended audience may be a little bit smaller than some other do-it-all bikes, but that effortless cruising style and high-powered fun is definitely hooked us. Is this the bike for you? Check out the detailed specs at bikeride.com and see user and expert reviews. You can also check out other great e-bikes and see them rated to find your perfect match. Do you have a question or something you want to say? Let me know in the comments and we'll start getting you some answers. Plus, if you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe so we can keep on bringing you the latest e-bike reviews and news. I'm Scott with bikeride.com. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the ride.